All right, another break and run, another straight pool break and run. These seem to be popular, so I'm going to do some. So this break doesn't work out as well as it normally would. I don't know if the balls were loose in the rack or what, but only the four balls pop out. Um, so I've got to get to a break shot, and the only break that I see here that's worth trying is to shoot the seven, line up for the five in the other side, and come off two rails to hit the rack. I do not like doing this as a break shot because quite often the cue ball will get hung in the rack, especially on a loose rack like this one. Now I do get lucky and it glances off, but you see nothing came out of that rack. The 11 and the 4 moved out of the rack. That was it. Everything else is still in there. Um, Now, on the plus side, I've noticed something here, and you're going to see me shoot it in just a second. But before I do, we have to deal with this 11 ball and use it to get out to the center of the table. So I have to shoot that all the way up, cross corner, not a bank, but just a weird cut to do. I move the cue ball back out to the center, and there's what I saw. The 213 had lined up just about straight, and the 10 ball, you almost can't miss this because the 10 ball is going to hit the 12 and it's a ghost ball. Okay, you'll notice that just kind of stopped the cue. Everything's going to move away from it. I let the 10 do all the work, and that makes it so that the 10 is the only ball that's got a chance of getting hung up in the rack, not the cue ball. So now I've got to deal with the 315. I mean, before I do, I'm going to come down to the other end of the table, take care of the two balls that are up there. These are fairly straightforward. You can see me shoot them in the top left corner of the screen. I'm going to use the 10 as a bridge I'm sorry, I'm going to use the 14 as a bridge to get back down to my end of the table. So I'm going to come off the 6, come back to the rail for the 14. I want to bounce off and get a little angle. I really don't get an angle, but that's okay. Uh, so the 12 is the break ball, very clearly. The 10 ball is very clearly going to be my key ball. I get a perfect angle here. I'm going to run up into the 3 and the 15 and hopefully get a leave out of this. The good news is I did. The bad news is if I hadn't gotten that leave, I would have been screwed here if that 15 wasn't available to me. So 15, then the 3, then use come back over to the left side, just naturally off the 3, it's going to come to the left, and then play the 10 on the side. And what I want to do is be straight in on the 10 and just stop it there. All right, so we did not get, I did not hit it hard enough to get up for the straight in shot on the 10. So now I've got to figure out what to do. Um, a lot of players will just feather this in. They'll try and just slow roll this 10. Um, that's a mistake. You're going to end up all the way at the other end of the table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive forward with top right English, top inside English. That's going to take it into the rail, into the long rail, and then when it hits the bottom rail, it's going to straighten up and come straight up the table. I like this shot. It's very easy to control, and the speed is immaterial. You can see it gave me a great break shot. Um, Now, I talked in the 1 year review about my eyesight. You've heard me mention it a few times. Uh, there is something about this shot that caused that 12 ball to be at the worst possible distance and angle for me to see it. I missed this shot. Um, had I made that, I'd have been off and running. I hate it, but that's the daily break and run for today.